So welcome to Applied Day 2018. You may have attended some of the earlier sessions today. This is the 11 o'clock session. We've got Mark Sorrow is going to be the presenter today. So I'm just going to kind of go through a couple things here and then introduce Mark. But so I guess the previous sessions were the Inventor What's New and the Vault What's New. This is going to be primarily around the product design collection and manufacturing workflow for using Fusion with Inventor and using that AnyCAD workflow. So Mark's going to kind of highlight that. But before we get into that, I just want to talk a little bit about. So I guess that's the presentation that he's going to run through today. But just a little bit about Applied's the pillars. For those of you who haven't attended the first couple sessions, I know it's maybe a little redundant for those that have, but at Applied, we believe we've got the top talent, the total technology, and absolute adaptability to be able to meet your needs, whether it be, on the IT side, on the engineering side, on the software side, on the rep or graphics. We've got a great team here that's I think, got a great set of skills to be able to, do short-term projects, long-term projects, whatever it might be. So if there's something that your company is maybe lacking in as far as, potential, maybe obviously you've got your own responsibilities, maybe we can fill in and help bridge a gap somewhere for you. So if you have any questions on that, by all means, get a hold of me. There is a little video here. I'm going to skip that just for the sake of time now, but it is out on our website. So if you'd like to see our, kind of a little more of an overview of applied engineering, you can find it on our website as well. Before I get into introducing Mark here, I do want to mention tomorrow is more of the services day for Applied. I guess it's Applied Days. We get kind of a 2-day event here going on. So feel free to attend those at 9 o'clock. It's the software development strategies. At 10 o'clock tomorrow morning, it's the Impact Dakota, preparing for the industrial Internet of Things. And then at 11, it's the manufacturing and engineering landmines, how to avoid and overcome those. So we've got a great team on that side. I think you'll find that information pretty useful. So again, I guess I've got my name listed here too. I'm not going to be really doing much of the presenting, but I would like to introduce Mark Sorrow. He is a technical specialist at Autodesk. Mark works closely with the Autodesk channel partners and territory sales group in the design and manufacturing industry in North America, and he actually kind of does most of his stuff is in Canada. He joined Autodesk in 2014, and he has a diversified experience in multiple CAD and PDM software applications, as well as CAD and project management experience in the automotive industry. So I don't know if Mark, can you hear me now? Are you on?
Yes, I am on, and thank you for the intro that my mom wrote.
Yeah, well, I appreciate you helping us out here today, Mark, and I'll
always a pleasure.
I'll see if I can transfer the presenter capabilities to you.
Thank you. There we go. Everything should be fine now.
All right, great. I'll let you take it away, and I'll stay on the line here and maybe help facilitate if there are any questions at the end. So feel free for the people that are attending to enter those questions in the right spot in the GoToWebinar application on your right, and then we'll try to answer those at the end of this presentation.
Cool. Thank you, Eric. I appreciate it. So I'm not going to reintroduce myself. That's way too much of myself in such a short time. But I just want to point out that if you're on social media and whatever it is, I'm uber connected. So if you can find me usually at Mark D. Sorrow. So Twitter, Instagram, name it, I'm there. I just don't get Snapchat yet. Maybe I'm too old for this, but maybe someone teach me about it. So let's just start. All right, let's go back in time. It was 2015, and we introduced this crazy technology, for lack of better words. And something I didn't mention, I'm from Montreal. I speak French, so some words will sound funny. You're allowed to laugh about it and be my guest. I mean, I'm sorry about my accent, so let's put it this way. All right, so we introduced a great technology, 2015, called AnyCAD. We were the first one to have this groundbreaking technology and offer it inside of our CAD, no fees attached. So with AnyCAD, as you might know, you're able to open any CAD format, and they are open as is. You don't have to translate them. So if they change, you will see a little icon stating that something has changed, you need to update, and that's pretty easy. But I'm going to show it to you. So 2015, we came out with these great format that we could use inside of AnyCAD. And around the same time, we also introduced, or reintroduced, I should say, Fusion 360. So as you know, Fusion was known as Inventor Fusion. It was a great importer and direct editing tool, but it became a solution on its own. So yes, I made sure to have something that reflected what Fusion looked like in 2015, and that's pretty close to it. So Inventor, AnyCAD, Fusion, great technology. Of course, as you know, Fusion is growing like crazy, again, like a better words. We have so many thousands of people using it monthly, so it's just out of this world. But what about now? What do we have inside of AnyCAD? So we introduced new format. Two that just jump in mind is the step format, which is great. That way, we've all been through this. I'm not mentioning CAD. All CADs out there have a hard time opening neutral format. But if you don't have to convert them, if you can open them just as is, then step in AnyCAD just makes sense. And also Solid Edge in AnyCAD makes a ton of sense, mostly for say Midwest and some part of Canada as well are using, a lot of people using Solid Edge. But Fusion, AnyCAD, Fusion 360, great CAD software with multiple capabilities inside of it. Inventor, astonishing CAD software, capable of doing stuff that nobody can out there. But something is missing, or I should say something was missing. So we use the technology. We are introducing this technology called AnyCAD for Fusion. Again, make sure that, disclaimer, big font, funny accent. This is a preview of where we're going. So right now we can use Fusion to Inventor, but as a preview. And if you try it, you're going to get a little message that says, this is a preview. Make sure you use this just to get the kick out of it. It is very stable. It is very capable. But just so you know, this is a preview. So you can take your Fusion 360 design. You can use the Autodesk desktop connector and bring it inside of Inventor using the same technology called AnyCAD. So when you open something, you just say, I want to link to it. I don't want to import it. And there you go. It's that simple. So this is the first step of having Fusion inside of the Inventor workflow. If you hire people, if you get some interns that are a little bit more comfortable with Fusion, let them use it. You have components that don't need the extra capabilities that Inventor brings. Let them use it. It's great. It's similar to when we decided to use AutoCAD for our drawings instead of Inventor. So it's pretty much the same workflow. And you know what? Let's see it. So first thing I want to show is inside of Fusion 360. Let me just minimize this. Inside of Fusion 360, you have a web portal. So let's go in there and let's see it. So in that web portal, I just want to show you a little something. And that little something is called a Team Hub. So let me just log in. Something I could share as well is that we have I'm blanking on the word. So when you log in inside of Fusion 360 or Fusion Team, you will get you will receive an SMS with a special code. So it's a to sign on something. Again, I'm blanking on the words. So if you go inside of your hubs, you will get to a Team Hub, and Team Hubs are different from the Fusion 360 hub. Team Hub are meant for users that have more than one Fusion 360, or you can simply ask to get Team Hub. It's that simple. So inside that hub, you can create your projects. Inside your projects, you can invite members and create your designs like this. So you need a Team Hub like that to get access to just create AnyCAD aspect of it. Now, once you get a hub like this, you will see that you have access to download a desktop connector for Fusion. Now, this is very great, and this is very useful as well. So if I maximize this, you will see that inside Windows Explorer, I get this now drive that looks like Fusion 360. And inside of there, you get all the hubs that you need, and this is my Team Hub. And you will see that inside of it, I have my project called Footrest. And inside of it, I have my file for my footrest. It's that simple. Perfect. If I show you inside of Fusion what it looks like, it's the same thing. We have our Team Hub here, and I have all my project inside of it. I have my file. So far, just setting up the foundation. And now I want to show you inside of Inventor. Perfect. So this is it. This is our great Inventor model like this that we have. Perfect. I have, as you see, I have my footrest that's right here. If I want to insert a component, I simply go place imported CAD file. And in there, I simply go to my Fusion 360 connection. I navigate inside of it just like I showed you. I go to my footrest project, and over there, I will be able to insert a component like this. Now, this is where the difference is, and I want to show this to you if this is your first time. It's the same if you work with any of the other CAD files that I showed before. So you position it right here, and you make sure that it is a link to your model. Now, let me show you. Let me just, you know what, let's undo this. So as you can see right here, I have my footrest, but I also have a component here that's a SolidWorks component. Now, if this is your first time with AnyCAD, you might get an email from someone that says, please update that file. So as you can see, this is a SLDPRT file. So what I'm going to do is I'm simply going to copy this. I'm going to go right into my folder where that file is located. And it's as simple as copy pasting it on top of it. And I want to say copy and replace. So don't forget, we get an email with SolidWorks file. We replace the SolidWorks file. And as soon as I go back inside my Inventor, as you can see, I have this little red lightning that says I need to update. So if I update, and I'm just going to zoom in, let me put it in the right direction. Let's zoom in, maybe not too much. And I'm going to go and update this. And as you will see, my SolidWorks file will change. So in a nutshell, in about 36 seconds, you can see how AnyCAD is working. So let me show you exactly the same thing, but using a Fusion model. So for Fusion, as you know, Fusion resides on your computer, but all the files are located on the cloud. So the update is as quick, but maybe there's some manual aspect to it, and I'm going to show it to you. So let's say someone is working on this and someone is doing some changes. So as you can see, my footrest has changed a little bit. It went from something like this to something like that. All right, so I'm going to save this. And again, as you know, when you save inside of Fusion, you don't save a file name. You actually save a description for your version. So I'm going to go made modifications like this. I'm going to go OK. And as you can see, I have 22 version of this. And while I'm saving this, it's actually setting up or sending my next version to the cloud. And as you can see, I have V23 now. V23 is right here, as you can see. So in the cloud and on my desktop connect, it's talking together. So I've changed my model. The cloud is now aware of my new version. My desktop connect will be aware as well. So if I come here, you might notice that the update is not as automatic because it's not local. It's not the spider, aka the sniffer looking for updates is maybe not as fast, but don't worry about it. You know that when you use Fusion, a lot of people will save a lot and create versions because it's kind of like a PDM for them. Instead of saving a file on their desktop and saying good version, good version, version final, 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 5 o'clock, whatever it is, they're simply going to save and write version comments stating where they are. So if you want to make sure that maybe there's something going on, you simply can right click on it and you can check for updates by yourself. By doing so, it says, oh, hey, whoa, you know what? There is something available for you. Do you want to update? Of course I want to. And next thing you know, your footrest will change. So you're kind of making sure that they are aware of what's going on, and you're just updating it. Now, let me redo this. So my update has changed, and hopefully I was, this is what you get when you try something live. But it's changing the model. It's looking for the new version of it, and it's just updating it. Now, why I don't see it right now? Just blame it on me. It's my funny accent. Maybe they don't understand that they need to update. So it works perfectly. It is very interesting. As you can see, if I go back to my model here, you get the file that's right there. You get those files that are located using the desktop connect like this. So you can work from different hubs as well, with different files as well. Don't forget that Fusion 360 or Fusion Team, I should say, is able to read a bunch of files. And you can put PDFs in there, you can put Word document and whatnot. So it is very capable. It is a preview once again. So sometimes if you get stuff that acts like this, use the forms that we have for Fusion 360 and maybe write that the update didn't happen or something like this. So it is in development again. It is very interesting. It's going to be very good. Now let me go back to my my PowerPoint. I want to leave some time for questioning. Now, I showed you how we can go from Fusion to Inventor, but there's also the other way around. You could use Inventor and set it inside of Fusion as well. I didn't want to show it just for a matter of time, but what I've shown on one way is also available on the other way. So don't use it, test it out. When it's going to be released, it's going to be very interesting. And also on the side note, you can do exactly the same thing with SolidWorks inside of Fusion. So if you have SolidWorks model on your Fusion Team Hub, then you will be able to open it inside of Fusion without converting them. So you can open it as is, and the change will also happen. Where we are going in a near future, this is what we want to do. Now, it's a preview. We want to test it out. We are acquiring data about it. We want to make sure it is rock solid like everything else that we have. So this is where we're going. We're going to open the bidirectional AnyCAD importing or inserting, I should say, with SolidWorks files, PTC Creo files, and Siemens NX. We also will try to import step files, a new sort of format. So again, we're bringing the AnyCAD that you know from Inventor inside of Fusion. And this is to facilitate or maximize the workflow of your creation or your design. When you're working on something, some people will be more comfortable using Fusion or Inventor or even something else that's out there. You all know how companies grow. Sometimes they acquire divisions or acquire other companies, and those other companies don't necessarily work with the same tools that you have. So you don't have to worry about it anymore. Anything and everything could be included inside of Fusion. Now just imagine if you follow what's going on with the technology that we have inside of Fusion 360, you might be aware that we introduced recently generative design. So imagine if you could use the power of the generative design from Fusion 360, get your component that would be fully optimized with something that looks like this, and modify it inside of Fusion and getting that model. You could, insert it inside of Inventor. So you could use generative design that's available inside of Fusion 360, create something that's out of this world that no one could think of or no one could design. No brain could be able to design that. Only computer power could do this. get that file and send it inside of your Inventor assembly to have something that's lightweight and perfect. So in a nutshell, my goal was for you to try it. My goal is for you to ask questions. I hope I inspire you of using it. And please, if you have any questions, I'll be happy to try to answer them.
Hey, Mark, thanks. That was great. I'm looking at the list of questions right now, and nothing listed on the poll yet, or the within the GoToWebinar. I think So one of the questions, I know we get a lot from our customers, and I think I know the answer, but I'd like to hear your perspective. With the fact of Fusion, being included along with, and I know you probably touched on it a little bit throughout your presentation here, but and you kind of mentioned too, feel free to use Fusion, because it's now they're more connected than ever. But you would never see Inventor. Inventor has its place, Fusion has its place, right? They're.
Oh, absolutely. And I don't want people to think that we're trying to replace one with the other. Far from it. We're trying to get, as you know, and some people might know, Fusion 360 was born from the makers. When Carl Bass was the CEO, he was just, so proud of Fusion 360, because he used to say, or he's still saying today, you can go at Lowe's or Best Buy or Home Depot, get a 3D printer for $300, but then what do you do with it? CAD used to be for the elite. And I'm not saying this to try to throw flowers at people that can, drive CAD. It's just that CAD was so expensive that it was not available, widely available, just like, let's say, Microsoft Paint. Mm-hmm. So Carl Bass said, we're going to make a tool for those makers. And it caught up. A lot of our customers are using Fusion 360 today. And they're using Fusion 360 today maybe to get some concept out, and then they finish it with Inventor. And I'm just going to make some small differences. For example, Inventor, large assemblies. If you want to create large assemblies, you absolutely use Inventor. Fusion, maybe not so much. Smaller assemblies, consumer products, maybe something that's a little bit simpler to do. If you want to have real life PDM, and I'm using hair quotes, real life PDM is Inventor. Fusion 360 is all cloud-based. The files are cloud-based. So there's a lot of differences like this that make sense for one and or the other. And I don't want to compare ourselves, but if you look at the other CAD, they all have a large or more capable package and a smaller package as well. We might be the only one that can touch anyone and everyone because it's so simple to use. But first of all, don't be afraid of turn back because it's simple to use and it looks easy. It is incredible. Instead of using a napkin when you having lunch and thinking about a new design, fire open Fusion 360. You'd be surprised how quick you can get a concept, and then use Inventor to finish it. But there's ways, and there's you can use Fusion and or Inventor in any of or all of your projects. That's for sure.
No, that definitely is a good way to describe it.
Thank you. I'm sorry. I could kill someone. Yeah. I could kill someone just talking.
Well, I don't see any other questions. So obviously, for those that are attending, thank you for joining this last session of Applied Day. If anything comes up, obviously, like Mark said, fire up Fusion, give it a shot, see what you think. It comes with, your product design collection, so it's there.
Yeah.
And so questions come up though, let us know.
Exactly, that's the important thing. If you open it and you try it, let us know. If you need some help or if you have any questions, let us know. Our pleasure to help you guys.
Right, and just to let the audience know too, we do have a Fusion 360 Intro to Parametric Modeling class. Should be on the schedule, so check that out if you want to get a little more in depth into creating your parts, assemblies, drawings. It's a great intro class. It's 3 days. So with that, I guess we'll
Awesome.
Thanks again, Mark, for the presentation. Appreciate your help. And
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Great. And thanks for everybody for attending. Have a great day.
Thank you.